Football, commonly known as association football or soccer, is a sport in which two teams of 11 players attempt to advance the ball into the goal of the other team by using any part of their body other than their hands and arms. Only the goalie is allowed to handle the ball, and only within the area surrounding the goal that is designated as the penalty area. The team with the most goals scored wins. There are many wonderful moments in football. People want to see high-caliber football, which is why the best teams draw the most supporters. According to the number of players and spectators, football is the most watched sport in the world. The sport may be placed practically everywhere, from official football playing fields to gymnasiums, streets, school playgrounds, parks, or beaches, thanks to its basic rules and necessary equipment. A combined television audience of more than 26 billion people watch football's premier competition, the quadrennial month-long World Cup Finals in 2010. According to FIFA, there were approximately 250 million football players and over 1.3 billion interested in the sport at the turn of the 21st century. Over the years, some incredible players have graced the sport, and some of them have left their imprint by employing a signature technique. Many of these maneuvers are used by young children as they mature and eventually by pros in competitive events. Some are simply absurd, while others are essential to the game and a player's skill set. Maradona. Every young child performs the Maradona turn since it may be applied while having fun in the park. This is one of the most used maneuvers in the sport, despite the fact that there aren't many possibilities to use it in a game. The footage depicts a Maradona turn that was flawlessly accomplished during a game under pressure. Cruyff turn. Absolute genius. I trip over doing this every time. Standard. It's challenging to do this without tripping over your standing leg, but with experience, it's a maneuver that may be applied practically in a game. Ronaldinho Gaucho Snake. It takes a lot of skill to execute the snake move, also known as the elastico. It might be the toughest in football. The move may have been used by a few players prior to Ronaldinho, such as Rivellino or Zinedine Zidane, but the current Flamengo playmaker has used it more frequently than any other player. Ferenc Puskás pullback. A technique called the pullback V was invented by Ferenc Puskás, who is largely recognized as the greatest Hungarian to ever play football. The maneuver is now regularly and effortlessly employed at all levels of association football and is turned into a player's essential toolbox. Juan Roman Riquelme move. This maneuver is uncommon. Why? Because only the most skilled players attempt it because it's so difficult to pull off. Juan Roman Riquelme, one of the best football players ever, came up with this idea with the help of his technically talented set of feet. That's shocking, isn't it? Robinho pullback. Another challenging one. But doesn't Robinho make it seem simple when he does it? If you have the balance and agility necessary, this maneuver is excellent for use in confined situations. Scissor kick. Who is the inventor? It's claimed by the Italians, Brazilians, Chileans, Peruvians, and Chileans. The most well-known player to employ it was Pelé, who raised awareness of the maneuver worldwide. Given that you're upside down and off balance, it's one of the hardest things to do in football. Okocha J and the Rainbow. The originator of the rainbow is unclear, but J.J. Okocha undoubtedly introduced it to the world of professional football. Early on in the highlighted video, Okocha does the rainbow. It's worth seeing because it also demonstrates some of the other abilities discussed in this post. Step over. Who was the step over's inventor? Francesco Totti comes to mind, but I'm not sure. The overuse of step overs has been perfected by Robinho and Cristiano Ronaldo, if anyone. The video demonstrates how to employ swift feet to fool both the adversary and the observer. Kurlan and the seal dribble. The seal dribble is not quite endorsed yet, but it's also not entirely untried. Kurlan's ability to sprint for several yards while carrying the ball on his forehead and delicately heading it in himself was pretty much the only reason Internazionale signed him. As a result of his increasing frustration, individuals eventually just started elbowing him in the skull. Stupid dude. The legendary Stanley Matthews cut wasn't on the list because I couldn't find any high-quality video of it, and since it's extremely similar to Ronaldo's Elastico. Do you have the same interest in this sport? Amazing to know these different tricks, right? Share your opinions and knowledge of these tips, as well as any ones I might have forgotten.